Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again and I haven't done one for a while, and Eladamri Korvecdal gave me a really excuse to do a kind of a new elf ball deck for Commander. So, Eladamri, 1 and 2 green for a 3/3 elf warrior. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. I like this start. Green and 1, and then tap 2 untapped creatures you control. Reveal a card from your hand or the top of your library. If you reveal a creature card this way, put it onto the battlefield and activate it only during your turn. It's a nice way of cheating your creatures into play with some mana, but it is Elf Ball, and people may not like Elf Ball. I know it's one of the less popular tribes to do in Commander, because not because it's not fun, but because people just snowball so quickly they just go off and people get upset with it and it disappoints people when it happens. But I think with this new version from MH3, it's really worth going back to that tribe and looking at it again. So here we go. This is what today's deck looks like. So, lots and lots of creatures, 39 of them. We want the creatures, we want to be revealing them from our hand or the top of our library to get them into play. So, and there's a lot of creatures in here you'll recognise straight away, and it's not that challenging because it's an elf deck. So, Alorius Shepherd, so everything can't be countered, especially our green spells, and then we can pay the 6 mana for turn each elf creature into a 5/5 and dinosaur in addition to its other types. That's fine by me. We've got the ramp with Arbor Elf, we've got Elvish Mystic, we've got Life Gain with Essence Warden, more ramps with the Fine Elves and Heritage Druid and Llanowar Elves, and the Queen Ranger who lets us untap one of our ramping elves, so that's great. Gala's Greeters comes in to get big and give us treasures and lives. Gear Sage, so we can get the Evolve on the go and get even more mana off this guy. Priest of Titania, because if you're playing an elf ball deck at the end of the day, why would you not play this card in here to get all that extra lovely mana we love. Seeker of Skybreak to untap, maybe Priest of Titania, get even more mana, or any of the other ramp cards, like Circle of Dreams Druid, for example. Elvish Archdruid is another one that can be untapped. And then we've got Elvish Champion, because we want to give all our elves Forest Walk, and obviously we have the land that does the job for us in the deck. We'll get to it. Elvish Rejuvenator to go and find a land and put it into play. Evolution Sage, because we do get some ways of putting some +1/+1 counters around things, so we might as well have a proliferation ability if we need it. Azuri Renegade Leader here to regenerate our elves as we go through. And the Gladhim Brigade. I forgot this card existed, to be honest, until I was rebuilding this deck. This has got the squad mechanic on it. Now, the squad mechanic originally came in 40k, was added into here. So basically, so this is a green and 2 for a 2/2 elf that gives all the other elves +1/+1. But you can pay green and 1 as many more times as you want to, and you get that many token copies of the brigade. So, for example, if you pay 3 green and 4 colourless, you'll get 2 copies. So all your elves, all the other elves will get +3/+3, and all the brigade will get +2/+2. Works really nicely and gets really big if we can get some decent mana into it very quickly. Marwyn's here to make sure we've got even more ways of ramping. Rex Sage to destroy something that's annoying us. Selvala, the Heart of the Wilds, the original Selvala's here just to give us more mana if we need it, and then maybe draw the odd card here and there. Wood Elves for a forest. Beast Whisperer to carry on drawing the cards so we cast the creature spells. Canopy Tactician gives all our elves +1/+1 and taps for 3 mana. Selborn the Wise coming in from Lord of the Rings. Whenever you attack one or more elves, you get to scry, and whenever you scry, Selborn gets +1/+1 as the end of turn for each card looked at while scrying this way. Nice. Gwyn, the Gilt-Leaf Druid, means all our elves get big. It has reach, and when we ever attack, we gain 1 life for each attacking elf we control, and we'll be attacking a lot with them. Gladrim Guide is also here, a little bit more scrying. Not sure about this one. You could probably take the time and put something more useful in if you want to, but hey, I like the idea of having some scrying elves. That's all good for me. And then some of the non-elves. Nylea is here to make sure everything has trample as they get big. Oracle Muldai lets us just play things off the top of our library and we can see what's there instead of having to, it helps with Eldrin because we can see what's there on top of our library and then play from our top card of our library if we need to. Yeva, Nature's Herald, means we can cast everything with Flash. Oja Kazlim, here comes some of the big guys, is I think it's the 35th land in the deck, to be honest. Obviously, when it deals damage, we get to look at lands and creatures and put them into play. Soul of the Harvest to give us creatures to give us card draw as we play things. Wolverine Riders is an elf, I'm aware of that, but at the beginning of each upkeep you get a 1/1 elf warrior creature token. And whenever another elf enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to its toughness. So even if it's just 1 life you gain, you're not going to complain. Zolpundra Hunger Dominus is here to double up all the power and toughness of our creatures each combat, so that helps. And then the win cards, Crater Hoof and then the Raise Forerunners are what we're hoping to hit once we've got a huge amount of elves in play. Terastodon will blow up anything that's annoying us and leave us with a 9/9. It gives our opponents 3/3s, but our stuff should be bigger. And World Spine Worm, I couldn't resist it. 11 mana for a 15/15 that leaves us a whole load of 5/5s when it dies and goes back into our library unless it's exiled, so we're not going to complain. Spells is low. Smuggler's Surprise, mainly so we can hopefully go off with all of it at some stage, which will be really good. Finale of Devastation to pump all our creatures up. We will be going for at least X equals 10 most of the time to do this, because at the end of the day we're going to use it to go and find Crater Hoof, I would guess, to win the game with. Nature's Law, Rampant Growth, 3 visits, and Cultivate, do us some ramping. Genesis Wave, because I'm playing a green deck, and why would you not expect to see this in one of my decks if I'm playing green? Overrun, for an additional way of doing the +3/+3 and trample. I did think about the Infect version, I decided that was just too beardy, so let's do the traditional Overrun and have a bit of fun with this. And Return of the Wild Speaker. Either draw some cards to get us out of a hole we're in, or give all our creatures, all of our creatures, because nothing's human if I remember correctly, +3/+3 until the end of turn. Not too many artifacts, because obviously we're playing elves and ramps, but we have got Jeweled Lotus, so we have the chance of doing Eladamri on turn 1. This is followed up with Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, and the Medallion to cut the costs down. The Boots to protect Eladamri if we need them to. Lifecraft's Beastery, we get an extra scry on the go, and pay an extra 1 for each creature to draw a card if we want to. Rona's Monument just gives a creature +2/+2 until the end of turn, and trample, so we'll be casting a lot of green creature spells, and they cost 1 less because of this. Monster Manual, because I just like this one from the Battle for Baldur's Gate set. Put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield for 2 mana, thank you very much, I will do that. And then the 2 ones I was hinting at, Skullport Nexus is here to double up a creature's power, or get us a bit of wrath protection, we get a nice big fungus. And the Great Henge, whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under control, +1/+1 counter and a card draw, couple of mana and 2 life, and we should be able to cast this quite easily. Enchantment wise, really straightforward. Sylvan Anthem, because we get to scry when green creatures enter the battlefield under our control, and they all get +1/+1. The Growing Rights for another version of Gaia's Cradle. Tribute to the World Tree to make everything bigger, or card draw, depending what we play. Defense of the Heart is in as well. Gives us a way to get some of our bigger creatures into play if we need them in early, because people do tend to play creatures quite regularly in Commander, as we know. Sorry about the horn going off, I've got the window open, it's a bit hot up here and someone's blowing the horn on their car. Guardian Project, yep, let's have a copy of something. Well, no, let's not have a copy, sorry, let's get that right. Let's draw a card for each creature we can play once we have this in play. Unnatural Growth doubles up our combat, and for our combat, at the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of everything. Okay, and finally, Virtuous Strength, because we are playing a lot of basics, we might as well get that in. And the Gadbring Growth for 1 green mana to return something that's been killed off to our hand, not the worst plan in the world. The lands are really simple. The cost of the deck, if you're wondering why the monetary value is so high, is because Gaia's Cradle's in here. I play it online. Don't own one in real life. If you'd like to donate one, please message me. I'll quite happily accept a donation of a Gaia's Cradle. I am joking. But beyond that, the rest of the lands, Castle Garenbrig, Fabled Passage for Bitter Thinning, Homeward Path in case anyone nicks everything off us, which is becoming a popular thing at the moment with a couple of the Outlaws cards, so get them all back. Nykthos is here, Oran Reef Vastwood is here to make sure we can put +1/+1 counters on all our green creatures. This is lovely with Genesis Wave. If you leave this untapped, get Genesis Wave for about 7, get all those nice creatures, and then just tap this to make them even bigger. People tend to go, ooh. Anyway, Path of Ancestry, because we might as well have a little bit of scrying as we go on. Reliquary Tower, Temple of the False God, Wildwood Lodge to untap an elf. Key, untapping some of our mana guys. And the card I hinted at earlier, Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth, is also here, along with the 23 forests. And that is it. because Eladamri just really does lend himself to doing an elf ball deck, and that's what we've done today. So I hope you've enjoyed the slightly shorter deck tech today. Please, if you haven't been here before, subscribe down below. 434 to record this, still getting a little bit closer each week to my 500 target for the end of the year, which will be fantastic if we can. If you want to see me play this, like I said in yesterday's video, Thursday night this week will be the traditional new sets draft stream, so we'll be drafting MH3 tonight on MTGO, and then Sunday week the next Sunday after you watch this video, we'll be playing these decks out on stream in the afternoon and probably for the next couple of weeks. So for now, thanks for watching. There's a link down below to Twitch if you want to come and follow me, by the way. Forgot that bit. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with a talk about one of the decks I built on stream last week. See you soon. Bye.